Welcome to India. ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. I am delighted to address the Bengaluru Tech Summit once again. I am sure you all are loving the warm people and vibrant culture of Karnataka. Friends, Bengaluru is the home of technology and thought leadership. It is an inclusive city. It is also an innovative city. For many years, Bengaluru is number one in India's innovation index. Friends, India's technology and innovation have already impressed the world, but the future will be much bigger than our present because India has innovative youth and increasing tech access. Friends, the power of India's youth is known across the world. They have ensured tech globalization and talent globalization, healthcare, management, finance. You will find young Indians leading many domains. We are using our talent for global good. Even in India, that impact is being seen. India jumped the 40th rank in the Global Innovation Index in this year. In 2015, we were ranked 81. The number of unicorn startups in India had doubled since 2021. We are now the third largest startup hub in the world. We have over 81,000 recognized startups. There are hundreds of international companies that have R&D centers in India. This is due to India's talent pool. Friends, Indian youth are being empowered by increasing tech access. A mobile and data revolution is happening in the country. In the last 8 years, broadband connections rose from 60 million to 810 million. Smartphone users went from 150 million to 750 million. The growth of this internet is faster in rural areas than in urban areas. A new demographic is being connected to the information superhighway. Friends, for a long time, technology was seen as an exclusive domain. It was said to be only for the high and mighty. But India has shown how to democratize technology. India has also shown how to give tech a human touch. In India, technology is a force of equality and empowerment. The world's largest health insurance scheme, Ayushman Bharat, provides a safety net for nearly 200 million families. It means about 600 million people. This program is run based on a tech platform. India ran the world's largest COVID-19 vaccine drive. It was run through a tech-based platform called COVID. Let us go from the health sector to education. India has one of the largest online repositories of open courses. There are thousands of courses available across different subjects. Over 10 million successful certifications have happened. This is all done online and free. Our data tariffs are among the lowest in the world. During COVID-19, low data costs helped poor students to attend online classes. Without these, 2 precious years would have been lost for them. Friends, India is using technology as a weapon in the war against poverty. Under Swamitva scheme, we are using drones to map lands in rural areas. Then property cards are given to the people. This reduces land disputes. It also helps to poor to access financial services and credit. During COVID-19, many countries were struggling with a problem. They knew people needed help. They knew benefit transfers would help, but they did not have the infrastructure to take benefits to the people. But India showed how technology could be a force for the good. Our Jan Dhan Aadhaar mobile trinity gave us the power to directly transfer benefits. Benefits went directly to authenticated and verified beneficiaries. Billions of rupees reach the bank accounts of the poor. During COVID-19, everyone was worried about small businesses. We helped them, but we went one step further. We helped street vendors access working capital to restart businesses. Those who start using digital payments are given incentives. This is making digital transactions a way of life for them. Friends, have you heard of a government running a successful e-commerce platform? It has happened in India. We have the government e-marketplace, also called GEM. It is a platform where small traders and businesses fulfill the government's needs. Technology has helped small businesses find a big customer. At the same time, this has reduced the scope of corruption. Similarly, technology has helped with online tendering. This has accelerated projects and boosted transparency. It has also hit a procurement value of rupees 1 trillion last year. Friends, innovation is important, but When backed by integration, it becomes a force. Technology is being used to end silos, enable synergy, and ensure service. On a shared platform, there are no silos. Take, for example, the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. India is investing over rupees 100 trillion in infrastructure over the next few years. The numbers of stakeholders in any infra project is huge. Traditionally, in India, big projects often delayed, exceeding expenses and extending timelines. These used to be common. But now, we have the Gati Shakti shared platform. The central government, state governments, district administrations, different departments can coordinate. Each of these knows what the other is doing. Information relating to projects, land use, and institutions are available at a single place. So, each stakeholder sees the same data. This improves coordination and solves problems even before they occur. It is accelerating approvals and clearances. Friends, India is no more a place known for red tape. It is known for red carpet for investors. Whether it is FDI reforms or liberalization of drone rules or steps in the semiconductor sector or the production incentive schemes in various sectors or the rise of ease of doing businesses. Friends, India has many excellent factors coming together. Your investment and our innovation can do wonders. Your trust and our tech talent can make things happen. I invite you all to work with us as we lead the world in solving its problems. I'm sure your deliberations at the Bengaluru Tech Summit will be interesting and fruitful. I wish you all the best.
Arvind Kumar. We have the chairman of the Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, Shri B.V. Naidu. I would request Mr. Naidu to kindly do so with us.
Honorable Chief Minister and the ministers of the other countries who are on the dais, and our State Ministers, Sri Aswath Narayanji, Sri Nirani, and other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Before I start, I wanted to congratulate the government, because I've seen this event happening for many years. Like Ramana Reddy mentioned that, no other event globally has sustained. More than that, the festive look in the palace grounds, which used to happen during the 2000 to 2004, 2005, that festive look has come back. So I congratulate the Chief Minister, Sri Aswath Narayanji, and Sri Nirani, and of course, Dr. Ramana Reddy, Meena ma'am, and all the Vision Group captains here. It's not that easy to sustain the momentum for so many years and bring back that festive mood. When I was walking inside, I felt very nice that I could able to see that. And in Karnataka, we have seen that humble growth started way back in 1992. Only $8 million with the 13 companies were exporting that time. And when we did the first IT.com, we reached $1 billion from Karnataka. Now we reached around $80 billion. That is a humble beginning, and I've seen the growth that has happened. And now we are all feel proud. 38% of the software exports come from Bangalore. And Bangalore has become the largest startup hub. And every technology, whether you call the fintech, AI, ML, agri-tech, we are the leaders. When we feel so happy, now the question comes, what next? How can you make sure that we sustain this 38% contribution from Karnataka and also continue to grow the way that we are going? That will not happen until unless we take this IT growth into the beyond Bangalore. And that is the reason the Karnataka Digital Economy Mission has been created, to make sure whatever we have seen last 25 years in Karnataka, next 20 years, we should see that in the beyond Bangalore clusters. And that roadmap has been created, that kind of leadership what we have with the Chief Minister, and our Minister and the department, this combination will never get back again. And this is the combination which is creating a roadmap for next 20 years. So we have that opportunity. As a KDM and the department, we have that opportunity, and we are working together. The upcoming startup ecosystem, while Bangalore grows, but we wanted to make sure that happens elsewhere, and that is what we are aspiring. Currently, in spite of the early, Karnataka is only the state that has brought in Mysore, Mangalore, Hubli way back in 2000 itself into the setting up of the STPIs. But in spite of that, the growth has not been that significant. Now the time has come. Now all these three clusters contribute only $1 billion, $1.2 billion with probably a lack of professionals. We wanted this growth to reach around $10 billion next 10 years with 10 lakh employees from all these three clusters, and of course with the 10,000 startups coming from these clusters. So this is where the Karnataka digital economy is working both with the industry and the government and strategizing this implementation. And I'm very, very happy to let you know that we have already seen early wins. The early wins in terms of attracting around 25 companies across all these three clusters, and the companies like the IBM and the companies like Hindujas are setting up of the operations in Mysore. And also we have seen some AI, one of the US company which is focused on artificial intelligence has already have 3,000 people in Hubli, and engineering services companies in Belgaum, and of course the fintech in Mangalore. To have this growth, we are branding this as a beyond Bangalore clusters and giving some emphasis in terms of the technology. Mysore being a warrior city, we are cyber security, COE is being set up there. And also Bangalore being the city of banking, we are setting up of the fintech COE there in Bangalore, and agri-tech and edutech in Hubli, and engineering services in Belgaum. So this strategy started working, and I'm sure with the kind of leadership and with the kind of foundation that we are laying down, sir, we will reach around $10 billion next 10 years, definitely from these three clusters. While I conclude, I have one request, since on behalf of our Chief Minister and on behalf of the department, behalf of KDM, we have the chairman of the Kindle here, Martin. We request the Martin, and of course Mr. Lingaraju. We always believe that Lingaraju is part of the government, he's been very active with all of us, to consider setting up of the operations in beyond Bangalore cluster, and consider Hubli to set up your operations. And I was talking to chairman, and chairman said they have around 40,000 people across the country, and sir, bring 5 to 10% of the people to Hubli. we'll be grateful for you. And that will bring in a little more, snowball effect on those places. That is why we want it to happen. Unless we do that, we will not be retaining the 38% of the share from Karnataka contributing to the national economy. And that is how we are to make our Prime Minister's vision of creating a $3 trillion economy next 5 years and $5 trillion next 10 years from the digital economy. We are all with you, sir, to do that. Thank you very much.
So as they say, digital is the future. Beyond Bengaluru also is the future. Thank you, Shri Naidu, for your address. We also have the chairperson of the Vision Group on Startups, Government of Karnataka, Shri Prashant Prakash. Bandhugale, swagatisi. Please welcome Shri Prashant Prakash.
Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Baswaraj Bommai, Honorable Ministers, His Excellencies, and other dignitaries on the dais. Greetings to all the stakeholders from our startup ecosystem, founders, angels, and venture capitalists. Welcome to BTS 2022. Karnataka and Bangalore's ecosystem is just 15 years old, but we have really come of age. We are globally the fastest growing technology hotspot and a bright spot in an otherwise challenging macroeconomic environment in the world. This is helping Karnataka and Bangalore garner a disproportionate share of talent and venture capital investments. With this, Karnataka and Bangalore is becoming the epicenter and the engine for creating economic value over the next 3 to 5 years of over $200 billion that is expected by 2027. Today, I would like to share 3 predictions that I think will drive the startup and venture capital narrative in this city, state, and our country over the next 3 years. My first prediction is that Indian startups, which have hitherto remained largely domestic and have tackled solutions within our country, led by our SaaS startups, enterprise tech SaaS startups, which have already got a global recognition for delivering great value at a great price. We have also started to see our B2B and B2C e-commerce companies starting to fan out in the ASEAN and the MENA region. My prediction is that in the next 3 to 5 years, we will see a large portion of our startups show more and more global ambition and garner a larger pie of the global economy. My second prediction is that Indian startups have shown their ability to get great valuations. We have delivered almost 100 unicorns. In fact, I call Bangalore and Karnataka as the startup, as not only the startup factory, but the unicorn factory of our country. But that is just half the story. What our startups need to be able to deliver over the next 3 to 5 years is good profits. It's only profits that will create multi-generational companies and great IPO companies. Only then can we return the $150 million that we have absorbed in this country back to our investors. If we don't return money to our investors, we are not going to get new capital into this country. So my prediction is that of the 100 unicorns, we will have a massive supply chain of IPOs. At least 25 of these unicorns will go IPO in the next 3 to 5 years. And through this, we will be able to create the multiple billion dollars of exit that is required to return money back to our investors globally and in India, which will create a virtuous cycle of more investments coming into the startup ecosystem. my third and final prediction. Startups in India have been largely focused on urban India and what urban consumers want. But if we want a nation like what our Prime Minister just spoke about, where we have more inclusive and equitable growth, our startups have to find a larger purpose. The larger purpose is to serve the 300 to 500 million Indians who are digitally enabled, but have very different problems and need very different solutions. A good example is our agri ecosystem. We have 150 million farmers with cell phones today, but less than 10 million farmers are being served. So we need agri-tech startups to focus on providing the right agronomy support, providing the right inputs, the right market linkages. And with this, my prediction is that in the next 5 years, a major portion of our farmers will be able to double their income to fulfill the mission and the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So finally, I would like to say that this year's BTS, from a startup perspective, is going to be special. We will have the largest showcase of startups, 500 plus startups, please don't miss that. And we will also have a wide-ranging set of startup leaders who will give you their insights in emerging areas such as deep tech, climate tech, agri-tech, and many more. So I would like to thank you all for being here. Ellargu namaskara. Have a very productive BTS. Thank you.
Karnataka indeed is the most preferred destination, and also it's safe and secure. Thank you, Shri Prashant Prakash. I would now request Shri Chris Gopalakrishnan, the chairperson of Vision Group on Infotainment and Technology, to address all of us. Shri Chris.
Honorable Chief Minister Sri Basavaraj Bommai, Dr. Ashwat Narayan, Sri Nirani, ministers on the dais, distinguished guests, friends. Let me also start by congratulating Sri Basavaraj Bommai, Dr. Ashwat Narayan, Sri Nirani, Dr. Ramana Reddy, the entire IT BT department, and many of you who have made this Bengaluru Tech Summit the #1 event. And as we celebrate the Silver Jubilee year and look forward to the next 25 years, I think we can be proud of the journey to date and the base that we have created for the next 25 years. My role is to set the context for the IT, information technology industry, and I will do that very briefly. Digitization accelerated during COVID. The Indian IT services companies and the global centers, development centers in India, demonstrated that they have the resilience to withstand any shock. And they came out with flying colors and increased the trust of the global businesses, the multinational corporations on Indian IT services. They continue to grow during COVID. The industry will grow secularly because the investment in digitization, investments in technology will continue to grow over the next several years. I'll come back to this. In the short term, there will be ups and downs because the industry will follow the ups and downs in the global economy, but that's a short-term phenomenon. And there are challenges, and these probably will come up for discussion during the next 3 days about coming back to the campus, coming back to office, issues related to attrition, moonlighting. But I am confident in saying that the industry will face these challenges and will continue to grow The industry will continue to recruit, and in the near term, I see industry recruiting at least 200,000, 2 lakh people in the near term. V.V. Naidu talked about setting up centers beyond Bangalore. In fact, the IT services companies, the IT companies are setting up centers beyond Bangalore, smaller centers, so that the employees can be closer to home and leverage technology to remotely work from these centers. So I see larger number of smaller centers coming up in Mysore, Mangalore, Hubli Dharwad, Belgaum, etc. The industry is expected to grow at 8 to 10%, and this is on a base of $220 billion. So not a small growth. The march of technology continues. I don't need to name these. These will be discussed in sessions: AI, ML, cloud, IoT, Web3, blockchain, NFT, metaverse, and so on. So these will get discussed in the sessions in the next 3 days. And this is the reason why I believe that the industry will continue to grow. We also need to talk about the unique Indian model for technology deployment. And the Prime Minister talked about equity. The Prime Minister talked about affordability. The Prime Minister talked about reaching the last citizen of the country wherever she or he is. I'm talking about public digital infrastructure and private innovation on top of that, private entrepreneurship on top of that. Clearly, this model is uniquely Indian, and this model is now being recognized globally as the model for the future, especially for developing countries. We will also have to address the issue of data privacy protection. We also need to address the issue of making available public shared databases for our startups, for our entrepreneurs, for our research scientists, etc., so that innovation and entrepreneurship can flourish. I look forward to the next 3 days. Very exciting period for the IT industry. I believe that the next 25 years are going to be even better than the last 25. Thank you very much.
Indeed, Bengaluru Tech Summit is becoming bigger and better. Thank you, sir, for your address. I will now request the chairperson of Vision Group on Biotechnology, Government of Karnataka, Dr. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, for her address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Kiran.
Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Basuraj Bommai-ji, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, Mr. Nirani, distinguished ministers, excellencies, and other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Every economy in the world today needs to focus on creating a vibrant and sustainable bioeconomy. And India has set a target of attaining a size of $100 billion as a bioeconomy by 2025. And we are well on track to achieve that target. Our next goal is to attain a size of $500 billion by 2047, which will celebrate the 100th year of independence of our country. What is a bioeconomy? I think for every country, sustainability and agriculture are going to be very key pillars of this bioeconomy, where energy security, food security, and health security are going to be paramount. Today, biotechnology is providing far-reaching solutions for many of these challenges that plague a country, not just India, which through its sheer size has to address a large number of such challenges, but every other country that is facing challenges as we have seen in recent times. Today, technologies like gene editing technologies, CRISPR technologies, whether it is nanotechnology, and of course now the convergence of technology that is seeing the prolific use of data science and artificial intelligence in now providing new healthcare solutions through novel diagnostics, drug delivery systems, devices, and other smart technologies that are helping us to address a large number of unmet needs is really the opportunity we all are looking at. What is unique about India, what is unique about Karnataka, and what is unique about Bengaluru is the true convergence of IT and biotechnology. We all talk about Industry 4.0. This is happening at rapid speed across the country and particularly in our state of Karnataka. We are seeing very interesting startups being formed in our state, in India. I know for a fact that our academic tech incubators are proving to be extremely prolific. We have the National Science Center for Biological Sciences with its very, very successful and industry-leading incubator, which is CCAM, which has made waves in the country. We have seen Art Park being mentioned several times now as the Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Park at the Indian Institute of Science. We have the Bangalore Bioinnovation Center at the Institute of Bioinformatics and Applied Biotechnology. And what is important for me to mention here is that every technology hub in the world needs an ecosystem. And I do believe that Bengaluru has a very unique ecosystem, which is very, very rapidly expanding into a global hub. Biotechnology has been hugely supported by the government of Karnataka. And I have had the privilege of being part of this 25-year journey of the Tech Summit, which I believe has allowed us to build this into the biggest cluster in the country. Today, Karnataka and Bengaluru represent 40% of India's biotech industry. And India's largest research services company and biopharmaceuticals enterprise are both headquartered in this city of Bengaluru. I think this is what allows us to dare to dream big and to dream globally. India's future is about shared values in terms of creating an equitable bioeconomy. And in this, we are very pleased to see a number of international partnerships, bilateral agreements, and I'm very pleased to see that India has also been very active in being a thought leader in driving the objectives of Quad to the next level, in which I believe biotechnology has a very, very important role to play. So I do look forward to very interesting deliberations over the next few years and of course at this particular summit. But having said that, I would also like to say that the future for biotechnology is going to be driven by IP and innovation. And that is where I think Bengaluru and Karnataka is going to focus and going to be very successful. Thank you.
Convergence of IT and BT, energy, food, healthcare. Indeed, the key points for the future. Thank you, ma'am, for your address. We also have Shri Naveen Tiwari, the founder and CEO of InMobi, to address all of us. देवर सज्जनों स्वागत कीजिए तिवारी जी को.
Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka Shri Baswaraj Bomaiji, Honorable Minister Ashwant Narayanji, Honorable Minister Dr. Nirani ji, my friend and His Excellency Umar Aloma from United Arab Emirates. It's an absolute privilege today to be standing here and speaking in front of all of you on the 25th anniversary of BTS. I call Bangalore and Bengaluru my Karm Bhumi. You know, we came here almost 15 years ago as few people with just an ambition, just a desire. And this city and this state converted that ambition into a meaning. Today, I feel so proud of the fact that I made Bengaluru our Karm Bhumi because it allowed us to create in Mobi, which became India's first unicorn. I am even more proud of the fact that our journey did not stop there. The Karm Bhumi continued to reap its benefit, continued to give what it always does, and we created one more unicorn few years later called Glance. It must be understood that whatever we have achieved has been achieved on a foundation that was set in this city, in this state, by stalwarts who created and brought Bengaluru on the map several decades ago. We must learn from that generation, and my generation will ensure that what work that was done to set up and bring Bengaluru on the global map, we will continue. Few of those people are actually on the dais, and my generation thank them with folded hand for what they have created and how they brought Bengaluru on a map that will never be erased. We may have started the, I love cricket. So if I use the cricket parlance, we may have hit the first run. But I must thank my colleagues and fellow entrepreneurs because they took that and they continued that journey to essentially hit a century. A large part of that century was actually hit within this state and this city. And I'm so proud that it's not just for us, but it is for so many other entrepreneurs that this has basically become a place where they can come and play their game. Now, I am an entrepreneur. I set ambitions and I go for them. I may fail, but I will go for them. So on this day today, I want to set a bold ambition, a bold vision for India. Firstly, as India, we don't want to play small anymore. We want to play big. And my vision for this country is that we should be writing the software for all the products in the world in the years to come. Technology has absolutely changed the lives, not just in India, but across the globe. It is software that dictates how we live and what we do. It has the potential to essentially change the way we function and we deal with things every day. To be able to write the software for the world, I think we have earned the right. And we have earned that right. We have announced our arrival in a short 15 years. There are many countries in the world that have led on and created a certain sector as their own. Software will be the sector that India will dominate in. Now, I say this for a few reasons. One, geopolitical. The geopolitical changes in the last year or so especially clearly indicate that the world needs a new alliance, a new partner. I would argue not just India, I would say Bengaluru actually has an opportunity, and it's visible out here right now, to forge those alliances, international alliances, where we are not just inviting international partners into our home, but we are also crossing the ocean and going there, taking our products into their homes, because we have earned the right to take our software products into the homes across the globe. The second reason I believe we could do this is because the next generation of software needs to be based on innovation and IP creation. You know, when I started in Mobi many years back, it's now almost 15 years, I was told quite blatantly on my face that you cannot create a product out of India. You don't deserve a seat on the table to build a product. I think we proved few people wrong. I think we created a global product, and I think our country will create a lot more global products because we have the talent, we have the people, and we have, more importantly, we have the ambition to be able to create those kind of products that will go everywhere. And it is actually visible. If you look around, some 80,000 startups in the country, 100+ unicorns, $500 billion give and take of valuation. If that's not innovation in a short period of 15 years, then I don't know what innovation is. So we've earned the right to essentially create IP, and we will create the best products in the world that the world will be living on. And we have actually done so in our own country, and our own country has gone through digitization that no other country has actually seen. I go across the board globally, and I find rich countries being third world countries because they have not made a digitization movement like we have. And I think we can take this on their shores. And third and last reason why I believe this is possible is because we have a certain type of natural resources, people, talent. And Bengaluru is quite good at that, by the way. We are really good at having some of the best talent in the world. Again, when I go across the world and sit across different boardrooms, it is so interesting. The conversation language has changed from English to Hindi, because every technologist in the room across the globe is actually an Indian. That's a great cultural melting pot that we have created, and we must utilize that. We have amazing talent at home. We have sent amazing talent across the globe, and we will be able to essentially utilize this for our benefit. I want to end my talk because I am quite certain that we will achieve this dream. I'm a huge believer in India, and I've seen the country change in the last 15 years. So I actually absolutely believe that we will be able to write and have the world run on our software in the next 10 years or so. I only have one last thing to add. I don't want to be called Silicon Valley of India. I want this to be called Bengaluru of Bharat. Jai Hind.
Words of supreme gratitude and, of course, tremendous amount of confidence there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a round of applause for Shri Naveen Tiwari. Thank you, sir. We also have the chairman and CEO of Kindle, Shri Martin Schreiter. Welcome to you, Shri Martin. Bandhugale swagatisi, Shri Martin Schreiter.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be speaking to all of you today here in Bengaluru, as well as to those watching from around the country and around the world. You know, the sheer scale of what BTS has become is so impressive to witness. It's such a fantastic platform that the government of Karnataka has created to bring us all together. So my thanks to the government of Karnataka for the invitation, and my thanks to the people of Bengaluru for the warm welcome. I spoke last year at this event, but it was virtually, and it's so much better to be here in person, to experience the energy and experience all that's happening. So I am delighted to be here, particularly this year, as India celebrates its 75th year of independence. It's such an exciting and inspiring milestone. It is a privilege. It's a real privilege for me to be speaking here along with the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Basvaraj Bomai, the Honorable IT Minister, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, and all the senior leaders, government officials, and the dignitaries. I am really pleased to have the opportunity to speak with so many distinguished global and Indian leaders. Esteemed audience, I do always enjoy to Bengaluru because it is such a storied place with a great history. And today, as you've heard from others as well, Bengaluru is the modern, vibrant epicenter of tech innovation in India. It's a place that really represents that important nexus of creativity and ambition for the world's fastest growing major economy. So today already, this nation is recognized globally for its economic prowess. Now the fifth largest economy in the world. And I think, as Prime Minister Modi so aptly put it,